God bless you, everybody. I'm not going to be before you long. I just wanted to speak on something that I tried to speak on the last video that I had, but I was having technical difficulties, so I couldn't get the information out. But I've rectified that, and we should be good to go. But first, let me put my disclaimer out there that what I'm about to tell you isn't for everybody. That we're all different. We all have um, different body chemistry and body makeup. So some of the things that I'm telling you may not work for you. And with everything, you should seek your doctor's advice. So, and these things you do or don't do at your own risk. Okay. Um, so, like I've stated before in other videos, God will sometimes give me information in regards to healing the physical body because um, we are a tripart being. So it's spirit, soul, body. So the spirit and soul resides inside the body. And we operate on a physical plane. You're able to operate on a physical plane because your body is the vehicle that allows you to do so, if that makes sense. So just like a car doesn't drive itself, I know they're coming out with something that does, but anyway, for most of us, a car doesn't drive itself. It's a vehicle. You're inside that vehicle. You're the living being that's inside of that vehicle to get you to go where you need to be, to turn left, to turn right, to go straight. You are operating that vehicle. And so it's the same thing with the spirit and soul you. You're inside of yourself operating your body to get it to go where it needs to be. Now, what happens is sometimes there's a malfunction either in the soul or the spirit. Sometimes there's a malfunction. Now, with the soul endures a lot of traumatic events, and what by soul, most people say, that's the mind, will, and the emotions. And so it's the makeup of the mind, will, and the emotions. So your soul can endure some traumatic things in its life, and then because of those traumatizing events, it can come out through your body. So if you've ever heard people say, "Oh well, stress is a killer. Stress causes cancer. Stress causes this, that, and the other thing." Oh, I was stressed out when I took, my blood pressure and it was high, and I think it was really due to the stress. So trauma and stress and things can cause an outward show or display in the body, or even um, on the outside of the body as well, meaning like your skin and stuff like that. Like you can physically see that um, that person has like some type of issue on their skin, but also inside the body, because of the stress that you're going through, it can create issues in all the different types of systems in your body. So that's one thing. But then you have other things where um, there's no issue with the soul or spirit. It's just, you know, everything is not the enemy. I do think um, the majority of things are coming out of a soul issue, or even um, spirit issue, meaning spiritual attacks. Um, but every time I catch a common cold, I'm not automatically going to say the devil, it's the devil. I'm not automatically going to say that. Sometimes there are things, just like if you smoke 20 packs of cigarettes a day and you turn up with cancer and you're just like, I don't know how this happened. Does that necessarily mean that that's the enemy causing that? So another example is, let's say, you eat 5 cheeseburgers and you trying to figure out why you're obese and you can't lose weight. I'm not saying that that's the only issue, but you know, there's certain things that we do to ourselves that cause some of our issues in our body. Um, with that said, we need to take care of our whole being, meaning we need to take care of our spirit, soul, and body. We need to take care of our whole being and nurture all parts of ourselves. So, in the book that I wrote, I speak on healing the soul, healing, dealing with things of a spiritual nature, generational uh, curses that come down the family line, and even spiritual attacks. And I tell the story of I remember the Lord. I was laying on a couch or something, and I had this. I told this story before, I think, and I had this issue where I was trying to figure out the symptoms that I was having. I was trying to figure out what my issue was, and somehow I got in my head, oh no, I think I think it's thyroid cancer or something like that. So I started looking up all this stuff about thyroid cancer, right? All because I had like this bump that developed on my neck, and then another bump where the sun don't shine. So I'm thinking like all types of crazy stuff, and somehow I settle on I probably got thyroid cancer, and so I'm just bugging, right? But somehow I end up getting myself to go to sleep, and I go to sleep, and I'm like, but I'm not really asleep yet, and I hear these footsteps, but they don't really have like a weight to them. But it was just very strange to describe. But I'm hearing footsteps, but they don't have weight to them. I know that don't make sense. So I'm like, so God is like, he's just talking to me while I'm laying there. He's like, you hear that? You hear that? And I'm like, yeah, what is that? And he says, that's the spirit of infirmity requesting or looking for a way to enter. Basically a way to enter me, you know. And I'm like, oh no, I basically at that point, I didn't know what to pray. I just basically was like, help, you know. But the Lord in his kindness and his goodness, he dealt with the spirit because all I said was, help me in the name of Jesus. Like I didn't know what to pray. But it was because of me thinking the worst possible things that could possibly be wrong with me, that it was like a beacon in the spirit realm to call the spirit of infirmity. It's like I didn't have thyroid cancer, but okay, well, since you basically speaking that on yourself, okay, we can get you some thyroid cancer, you know? So there's things in the spirit realm that can happen because I mean, you can get illness because of things in the spirit, whether things you call upon yourself or things that are just generational. But today we're keeping it light. But I just wanted you guys to have a big picture overview that there's so many different ways that illness can come. We live in a fallen world, so when Adam and Eve fell, it let everything in. It let illness, everything, everything that could possibly, that's I guess anti-human. At one point we were in a garden where everything was just for us, but now we're in like an anti world. Like the world is not nurturing towards us. So we we come in contact with virus, we come in contact with disease. You don't have to do anything wrong. It's just sometimes you come in contact with something and you catch it, or stuff starts malfunctioning in your body due to the fact that we're in a fallen world. We're in an environment that's toxic. Your drinking water you might think is clean, it's not really clean. The air you breathe, there's toxins build up in your body, and lo and behold, there's a malfunction there. But God has given us the herbs, and God has given us the tools that we need to keep our bodies functioning the way that He intended. But either way, and it's kind of crazy that I'm going down this path to explain all this, because all I'm talking about today is skincare. What God showed me about skincare. And it might seem um, minor, but it is major, because God wants us to maintain our bodies that we live in. He wants it because we can't be effective. If God want me to, let's just say, after this corona stuff get over with, if God want me to go jet setting across the land to preach his word, I'm not going to be able to do it as effectively and as timely if I'm broke down in my body, if I'm, tired, if I'm have all these illnesses that are holding me back. I'm not going to be as effective. I'm not going to be able to jet set around, because I gotta, take time to let's just say I'm on kidney dialysis or whatever, because I gotta take time to make sure that I'm around the dialysis place, because I can't go, because my kidneys are messed up because of the years of, you know, not saying this is everybody's situation, but just for the years. I mean, like, I don't want to offend nobody if you go on dialysis. I'm not saying you did anything wrong to your body. I'm just saying, like, in my particular example that I'm giving, because of the years of not taking care of my body, now I'm on some type of dialysis where I can't go um, as far and as wide as God had originally wanted me to, because I have to constantly be around the kidney dialysis place. So this is why it's important to take care of your body. But even when it comes to skin, um it's not a light thing, because it's affecting how you feel about yourself. It's affecting your self-esteem. And for some of you, um you need to work on your self-esteem from the inside out, meaning you need to deal with what made you feel like you weren't worth nothing. Like, where does that come from in your childhood? Some of you need to work on that um first. But it's also, you need to work on, um if there's something that you don't like about your outward appearance, you need to still work. It's pleasing to God that you work on that as well. It's not anything wrong with making sure that you look nice, that whatever you got, whatever God has given you, that you dress it up and you make it look nice, um and presentable. So there's definitely value in making sure that you put your best foot forward, so to speak, or you put your best face forward, so to speak, so that you can feel good about yourself. you know so, and if you have flawless skin, then you just disregard this message. This is not for you, okay? If you have flawless skin, or what you're doing is working, and your skin looks pretty good, then just don't. Why, if it's not broken, don't, why try to fix it? But for people who have struggled, like myself, um, with acne, with then once you got a certain age, you didn't have the acne, but you had the scars, or your pores just look huge, that type of thing. For those of you who have struggled with that, this message is something that may be able to help you. But like I said, everybody's different. So what works for one may not work for another. I'm just telling you what God has shown me. So every now and then, God will give me information about certain products that help with different things for myself, for family members, for other people that ask me. I'll pray on it, and then sometimes God will just drop something natural, or natural and organic, to show me what can help with that particular issue. So one day, I was looking in the mirror. I didn't even ask God. I was just like, I'm tired of these big old pores in my nose. It just seemed like my pores are blocked, and I was just like, you know, I've done everything that God has told me before to do with my face, and my face has improved, but yet and still, this nose, I was just like, I'm sick of seeing this nose look like this, right? So I was just saying it within myself, but I wasn't even saying it to God. So right after I was thinking those thoughts, the next morning as I was waking up, the Lord spoke to me and said, glycolic acid, glycolic acid. And I knew he was speaking about the skin. I knew he was speaking about the skin, but I didn't really know what glycolic acid was. Um, and so I looked it up, and what I found out was is that glycolic acid is one of, I believe, four alpha hydroxy acids, and these acids occur naturally in certain types of fruits. Um, yeah, they and other edible things. They occur naturally. One is, I think, lactic acid, which is from sour milk. One is from grapes. I forget the name of that. One is from from citrus, which is citric acid, and then you have glycolic acid, which mostly comes from sugar cane and papaya. So I tried to think about what did I have in the house that I could use immediately. Now I know enough to know that I don't think you can just go and get some sugar and put it on your, on your skin, but you probably can. But I don't have sugar in my house because well, that's a whole nother message. I don't have sugar in my house, so I wasn't going to go put no sugar on my face, and I certainly didn't have a papaya. So I said, okay, well, I'm just going to take one of the um, I'm going to take a lemon because I do have citric. I do have a lemon. I do have citrus in the house. So I took a lemon and I put that on my nose, and it was automatic. I couldn't believe it. After all these years dealing with big old pores, I put that thing on my nose and it tightened it right up. So, and to each his own. So when you look this stuff up, you have to see and make sure that you have to test it first. Just don't go all out like I did. Take a little patch of your elbows on the back of your elbow and test it and make sure that you don't have some type of allergic reaction to citrus on your skin or whatever. But I was just like, I was, desperate. So I took that lemon peel, and just put it on my nose, let it sit for like 3 to 4 minutes. And I'm telling you, by the time I went back to check, that my whole nose, all the pores in my nose had closed up. Dramatic difference. And so that's one thing. But still, I said that's not exactly what God said. God said glycolic acid. And so I went to go look for the next time I went to a health food store, I looked for glycolic acid. Now they had it in creams from 5% to 10%. I said, well, let me do the 5%. I don't want to go all crazy. And so I've been using that for the past week or two, and my skin looks so much better. Looks so much better. But I know there's a whole type of glycolic acid pill that people can get, and that's like 30% or whatever. But I don't think I don't think I'm gonna try that because I've heard some horror stories. But I'm gonna keep with the 5% and see, because they said you don't really see the total effects of the glycolic acid until you've been using it for a few months. So, but I see a difference already. I see a difference already. So I'm very pleased with that. I just wanted to share that with y'all. So if somebody has an issue like that, that they've been dealing with this for such a long time, it's something to try. But I also, uh, when I looked it up on the internet, most people rave about it. But the other issue is that some folks are saying that, well, it will I guess thin your skin out or something like that or whatever, blah blah. But at the low levels that I'm using, I don't think that that would be an issue. And I'm not saying that I would use it forever. I just want to see, get my face to a place where I'm happy with it. So, all right, guys, that's all I have time for today. But I just wanted to get that out there because I had promised that I would speak on